where that comes from. I just be doing shit throughout my childhood because like other people are doing it, not knowing it comes from movies and all this stuff. Crazy. What? Who the hell are they? I'm having a breakdown. Oh, my chest. Oh, my chest. Hey, you guys. Welcome to Kemma's Never Seen It. I'm Kemma, and today the movie we're going to be talking about is The Grudge. Today, I am dressed up as Violet, going Violet, from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie or the Willy Wonka movie. I've seen both. I've seen the original, and I've seen the new one. I think there was one with Timothée Chalamet, if I'm not mistaken. Haven't seen that one, but I saw those two, so don't worry. We don't have to add them to the list. And if you've never been here before, I take movie suggestions based on movies I've never seen, which is basically every movie ever created, give a quick synopsis of what they're about after I watch them, and then give my opinion. Will my opinion differ from yours? Probably. But if you've never seen this movie, I'm putting a big spoiler alert right here because we're about to talk about it. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into what this movie's about based on the DVD cover summary. Karen Davis is a woman residing in Japan with her boyfriend who is studying abroad. Temporarily assigned to be caretaker for a woman with severe sleeping conditions, Karen goes to an unsuspecting house. But what she finds is something she never expects. The house is plagued by an evil presence, the result of a curse. A curse which is born when somebody dies in the grip of a powerful rage, thereby leaving behind their fury in the form of a powerful energy. Now Karen finds herself being tormented by the curse, but whoever enters the house becomes consumed by it. I also just want to say really quick, this movie specifically, just like when I reviewed the movie Batman Begins, it does kind of do a little back and forth kind of stuff. So I'll make sure to try to say we're here and we're back. We're back here, but we're back to the present. I'll try to do that as we go along. But we're in Japan. We start off with this couple. It looks like they're waking up and the man goes outside kind of just to look out the window on the balcony. The woman is just like, hey, you're up so early. Come back to bed. And he throws himself off of the balcony. What a way to open up a movie. But it's literally that clip. She goes off to the cliff to see what had happened. And he fell to his death. Like, that is the beginning of this movie. So we're in for a ride. Now we're going to the future. We're with a caretaker. Her name is Yoko. She goes to this house to take care of this woman. It looks like she doesn't speak much, or at least when Yoko tries to talk to her, she doesn't really speak much or acknowledge her. But she just puts her to bed. There's trash everywhere. So whatever the woman did when Yoko was gone, trash around all the house. So she decides, okay, well, I'm going to clean up the house. I'm going to do all this stuff. And as she's cleaning, she goes upstairs and she hears these noises. As she's looking around, she notices that there's noises coming from the attic. And okay, usually already I would be like, girl, there's noises in the house. Why are you going to check it out? Why? But what I will say is she's a caretaker for this woman. This woman seems to have these different conditions. She's not really talking. She's not really doing anything. So she probably should check out there's something going on that could affect that woman, especially when she's not there. So I can see her going to go check it out. And then she goes up into the attic. She has a little lighter looking around, trying to see what's going on. And she gets got. But again, that's just a small little scene. And then we move over to Karen and Doug. They're study abroad students. They're studying in Japan, which is really, really nice. And it looks like Karen works for the caretaking company that Yoko was under. When she gets to the office, the boss, I believe his name is Alex, he says, okay, this is what you've been waiting for. We're going to put you on an assignment all by yourself. And it's Yoko's case. And he shows her the woman and her file and everything. He's just like, you can do this. I believe in you. I know it's your first one, but you got it. You got it. He tells her that the woman sleeps for most of the day. She's not really, a lot to handle, but Yoko, they haven't seen her since the day before, so they just need someone to cover for the time being. So it's supposed to be temporary. So she goes to the house, she finds her way, asks for directions, and she knocks on the door. Mind you, I don't know if this is specific, but they're very impatient. Like, she rang the doorbell. I'm not joking, like 2-3 seconds later, knocks on the door. Hey, what if I'm in the back? What if I'm in the back doing something? Give me a second to come to the door before you start banging on my door. But she does that, and then she just opens the door. Again, impatient. I don't know what that's all about. And then when she goes in the house, she's looking around. The house is still a mess. Obviously, Yoko couldn't clean. And she looks, and the woman is scratching at the door that she's in. She's scratching at it to be let out. Karen goes in, she lets her out, she gives her like a little sponge bath, is taking care of her, and then she goes to put her to lay down so she can go to sleep while she is gonna clean the house. When she goes upstairs to clean, she notices that there's this closet that's taped up with like what is it called? Packing tape, or like that weird, whatever, that doesn't matter. It's taped up, and she's just like, that's weird. So she decides to take the tape off of the closet, and when she opens it, she finds a book, which looks like it could be somebody's diary. A cat jumps out of there, and she finds a little boy. She calls her boss, and she's just like, the boy won't speak to me. He won't even come downstairs. I don't know what to do, but you need to come here to help me or see what's going on. And when she hangs up with him, she's looking through the book, and it looks like the book has some kind of like love notes in it and like pictures and stuff, but she only looks at it for a second. The boy does come down for a second, and she asks what's his name. I believe he says his name is Toshio. And the phone rings before she can even, talk to him some more. But instead of keeping her eyes on that boy, she goes to the phone, doesn't answer the phone, and just listens to what message is left. I don't understand why you would leave that boy unattended. First of all, he was in a closet by himself. He wasn't talking to you. He wasn't coming down. Now he comes down. He at least says his name. And you're going to leave to go to a phone that you didn't even answer? I'm confused. After she hears the message, Emma is the older woman that she's taking care of, by the way. Emma is sitting up in her room. She's like talking to herself, kind of rocking back and forth. And Karen's just like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Emma looks at her and then looks away. And Karen gets to see what Emma sees. So now we're going to go to the past. We're about to find out how Emma got here in the first place. So we are with Emma, her son, her daughter, and her son's wife. The house that we're in right now, they're being shown this house by a realtor. They're kind of just looking around, seeing what it looks like, a nice house, and he's just trying to up it, show them everything, what all the rooms and all that kind of stuff. Emma ends up in a room by herself. I think it was the room upstairs. I think it's the one that had the attic. She's in there by herself. She's looking up at the ceiling, and she's just staring. Her daughter comes in. She's like, Mom, you all right? And then the son comes in. They're just like, Ma, you all right? And she's not answering. She's just looking at the ceiling. Meanwhile, the realtor is upstairs. There is a tub that has water in it. So he's just like, oh, well, let me at least go in to drain it. He takes his jacket off. He puts his arm in. A hand grabs him. He snatches away. He looks. There's a little kid who's like drowning or in the tub, and then the kid disappears. It's that same kid that Karen found in the closet, mind you. So obviously a ghost. And he's freaking out. He's just like, what was that? But the son, he comes down. He's like, hey, sir, we'll take the house. And he's just like, okay. He didn't tell them nothing.
Son, we'll take it.
Okay. So now it's the son. His name is Matt. The wife, her name is Jen, and Emma. They're all living in this house. The sister, she just came just kind of to look at the house and also help out, because I don't think Matt or Jen speak Japanese or really know their way around that much. So she was kind of helping to navigate, and she's not living there. So now it's just those three. And Jen is having a lot of trouble because she's just like, I don't know how to get around. I get lost. I don't know how to ask for directions. It's just a lot right now. And I think Matt said something about like, okay, well, let's give it a little bit of time. If we still don't like it in a few months, we'll leave. But let's just try it out. And also, Emma is having a lot of trouble sleeping, and Jen has to deal with it because Matt is a very heavy sleeper, so he doesn't hear her. But Jen has to deal with it and go take care of her. And again, it's the same stuff that's happening right now. So Jen goes out to the store. She comes back from the store, and she wakes up from a nap to hear all this rustling. Now, Emma's sitting up, and she's just like, if you needed something, you could just tell me. Like, you don't have to, like, make a mess. But then she sees some footprints, some wet footprints going up the stairs. So we're just like, Emma didn't do that. Emma's been laying down this whole time, so you know it's something else. There's something else in this house. Jen goes upstairs, and she's trying to listen around to see what she could find. But then we jump to Matt, him coming home. And he's looking around. Again, the house is still a mess. He's looking around. He's just like, Jen, I'm home. You here? I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. He goes upstairs. Jen is in bed, breathless. She literally is like laying down, staring at the ceiling, and just like sounds so breathless. And Matt is trying to be like, are you okay? What's wrong? Is everything okay? He looks over and he sees that little boy. And then once he sees that, he kind of like falls back and he's just like, what's going on? Who are you? And then the little boy is all of a sudden over him, like on top of him, and the lights go out. So we're back to present day. Alex, the boss of like the caretaking facility, whatever they are, he comes to the house and he comes to the door that leads to where Emma is, and he sees her laying down. He's just like, Emma, are you okay? Are you okay? He looks over. Karen's in the corner, like cowering, and he's just like, what's going on? What happened? They call the police, and I'm not entirely sure if Emma's dead, but they do take her away. Like they do take her out of the house. Now the cops are just like, hey, we have some questions for you. Do you know these people? And shows a picture of Matt and Jen. And Alex is just like, oh yeah, I think that's like the son and daughter-in-law of Emma. And he's just like, oh, well, when's the last time that you've seen them? And he's just like, oh, with registration, you know, basic procedure. That's when the last time I think I saw them. And they've been missing for at least a day, because Matt didn't report to work. So now the cops are searching around the house. They go to the phone where the answering machine is. They hear the sister's message and they're just like, okay. And again, they're stalking around the house more. They go upstairs and again, they go into the attic. When they go into the attic, they have their flashlight. They're kind of looking around and they see two bodies. There's a man who's like sitting down and there's a woman in his arms just up in the attic. And as they keep looking, they also see a piece of something, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's a piece of something human. So the cops find Matt and Jen upstairs, mummified, and then they see this piece of something that could have came from them, but we still don't know. Another quick little clip. Karen's in the hospital. They took her to the hospital. Her boyfriend goes to the hospital, and she's trying to explain what she saw in the house to him, but it's just like so unfathomable that it's just like, are you okay? Are you sure that's what you saw? Now we're going to switch over to the sister of Matt, the daughter of Emma. We're switching over to when she left that message. She was in the office. She was about to leave. And she's just like, oh, just let me know if mom's okay. You know, I just want to know, make sure everything's still going smoothly. When she's there, she's starting to leave, but she's starting to feel some weird vibes. Again, she entered the house. And according to the DVD cover summary, when you enter that house, it's all over for you. As she is walking out of the office to leave, she gets a call and it has her brother's name on it. She answers. She's just like, hey, what's going on? Haven't heard from you. And she hears that gurgly little voice thing.
Matthew?
Now, again, I've never seen this movie, but I have definitely done that noise before as if I knew what it was from. I had no idea that came from The Grudge. I really have just been doing things to copy other people because I thought it was funny, but didn't actually know why or where it came from. I'm glad I know now, but I just knew a little too late. So she finds a security guard because she's freaking out. She feels this eerie feeling in the halls. She got this phone call. She finds the security guard. He leaves her in their little facility where they're like watching the cameras and stuff. And she can see him going to like find what she hears or see if there's anybody lurking in the hallway. As she's watching, she sees that woman appear in the hallways. When she sees that, she gets up, she leaves, catches the first taxi that she sees, and she goes home. But you think it ends there? No. She's home, and she's going up the elevator. And as she's going up the elevator, we see that little boy keep appearing, getting closer and closer and closer. Now I'm scared. I'm terrified because she doesn't know that it's happening. She thinks she's in the clear because she's home now. Nope, she's not. So then she goes upstairs. She gets, again, a call from her brother. And he's just like, oh, I'm downstairs. Can you buzz me in? I forgot what room you're in. So she's just like, okay. She hangs up the phone. Not joking. 1 or 2 seconds later, there's a knock at the door. How can there be a knock at the door after 2 seconds you just buzzed him in from down below? She goes to the door. She looks through the peephole and she sees him. But when she opens the door, nobody's there. I'm terrified. She hears the noise coming from the phone again. She runs inside. Too late. But she runs inside. She goes in her bed to get the blanket to feel protection. Nah, the woman's already in there. She pulls her The woman lifts up the sheet and sees that woman staring at her. Now she's gone. So we've lost, presumably, Emma. We've lost Jen, Matt, and now the sister. I forgot the sister's name. Well, we lost the sister. Whole family gone. So now we're back in the hospital with Karen, and the cops came to question her. They show her the book, and she's just like, yeah, I found this with a little boy. I'm not too sure, like, if it was his or what's going on. I didn't get a good chance to look through it. And then she shows him the cop shows her a picture, and just like, do you recognize anybody in this photo? And it looks like there's a man, a woman, and a little boy, but the woman's face is cut out. And she's just like, oh yeah, that's the little boy that I saw. The cop is just like, really? And he's trying to get more information out of her, but everything that she's saying, he's just like, something is really off here. And then he starts to tell her, we went upstairs into the attic and we found 2 bodies. We found Matt and Jen, who were the son and daughter-in-law of Emma. And it looks like a murder-suicide, basically, which again is interesting considering he was sitting and holding her in his arms. I don't know. I think that was like the easiest solution that they can come up with, honestly, without investigating. So then the cop's partner, he interrupts. He's just like, hey, we went by the sister's house and we can't find her, which is weird because her house is locked from the inside, and that can only happen if someone is in there. So we don't know what's going on. Karen gets released from the hospital, but she still can't shake this feeling. Like she still sees this woman, and she just keeps getting these weird eerie feelings. Like there's this one part where she's in the shower washing her hair, and as she touches the back of her hair, she feels hands come out. That woman's hands were coming out the back of her head. So she's cursed. She entered that house and now she's cursed. Now we're going to have a quick little clip with Alex. We're with Alex. It looks like he's leaving the caretaker facility and he's about to go home, but he notices a woman walking in. We don't know who it is at first. I thought it was Karen, and she's just like so tired and just needed somewhere to like clear her head. But this person isn't answering him, and he watches this person like go down a little flight upstairs. When they turn around, we find out it's Yoko. And we also find out that little piece of human something we found in the attic was Yoko's jaw. She was missing her whole jaw. When I mouth on the ground, could barely pick it up. I was just like, no, that's what happened to her. So it looks like, I don't even know what to say about Yoko. Is she also now just a spirit that roams around? Like, what's going on? Now, back home with Karen, she's researching more about that house, and she finds that there are articles and different things about a husband and wife, that little boy, and somehow there's also a connection to a man. Do you want to know who that man was? That man was the man who threw himself off the balcony at the beginning of the movie. They're intertwined. And then quick little clip, we go back to the cop. He's looking at the security footage that the sister saw and saw the ghost woman getting closer and closer to the camera. And then the thing cuts off. So he sees that. He's getting all these bad vibes. He still doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't like it. But let's go back to Karen. So Karen now goes to find the wife of the man, the one who threw himself off the balcony. She's on the hunt to find his wife and see if she's willing to talk to her and say what happened. His name is Peter, just so I don't have to keep saying that over and over again about his demise. And the wife is just like, we had a good life together. We were so happy, da, 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 da. And the wife starts showing Karen pictures. And she's looking through the pictures, and they do look like happy pictures. But there's one thing that she notices. She noticed that there's a woman in the background of all these pictures, and it's the same woman every time. Now we're going to flash back to Peter. It looks like he is some kind of professor or something at a school. And he's talking to one of his colleagues. And he's just like, yeah, I keep getting all these like love letters and notes and stuff from someone who says she's my student, but I don't know who this is. So he goes to the house, and when he goes in, he finds the little boy by himself. And he's trying to talk to him, but he's not really that responsive. But now he's in that house. This is a stepping stone to what's to come. Please bear with me. We're getting there. Back to present day. We're with the cop. He's about to blow that house the fuck up. He has 2 cans of gasoline. He goes in that house. He's ready to douse the house with gasoline, blow this house up. Because I've seen some scary movies, and I feel like that's the only way that you're able to really release spirits, I think. Like, I think once they have a host, you have to destroy that host. But don't they just connect to something else? I don't know. It's honestly been a little bit since I've seen a scary movie like this. I get scared easily, as y'all know, so I forgot the rules. But he goes in the house, and once he starts like pouring gasoline everywhere, he hears noise, of course, coming from upstairs. When he goes upstairs, he goes to the bathroom, and he sees that same little boy face down in the tub like he was drowning. He takes him out. He's trying to like wake him up, stop him awake. Of course he was faking, opens his eyes, and then a man from behind him takes his head and drowns him. The cop gets drowned. But I don't know who this man is. And then back to Karen. She comes back home after all her investigating and talking to Peter's wife, and she notices her boyfriend isn't home. Apparently, he saw all of her research papers, and he went to go find her, assuming that she's at the house. She runs for her life to go find him. Because again, once you get into that house, you get all the effects of everything bad. She doesn't want him to go in there, but he's already on his way, and she runs after him to go to the house. She goes to the house thinking that she found Doug because she can hear a male voice in the background. But actually, it's Peter's voice, and she's getting pulled into a flashback firsthand, able to see what's going on and what happened in this house. So Peter is, again, he only sees the little boy who looks like they're just drawing. He's looking through the house, and he goes into a room, and he sees a bunch of pictures laid out. Out of all those pictures, the woman's face is cut out perfectly, like circular pictures are cut out of her face. And when he goes to see, he sees that there is a book next to those pictures as well. It's that same book that Karen found. She's flipping through it, and they're all like diary entries about Peter. Basically, the woman saying like, oh, I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm so in love with him. I love him. I'm so infatuated with Peter. Like, I love Peter and all this kind of stuff. So he's like flipping through it, and he's just like, what is going on? He gets up. He goes to that closet where Karen found the little boy. And all the cutout pictures of the woman's face are pinned on the closet door. Bro, the plot thickens. And then Peter opens up that closet door. There's a bunch of flies everywhere, so you already know what's going to happen. There's a bunch of flies everywhere. He opens the attic space that's right there. The woman's body falls out. She's been killed. He runs out of that room. And the last piece of this puzzle is he hears like a thumping sound, like something hitting the door. He opens the door, and he finds a man hanging from the ceiling. Now, this is what happened in this house. The wife had feelings for Peter somehow. She's seen him. She started to become infatuated with him, love with him, maybe even parasocial. I don't know. She would write about him in that diary. The husband found out that the wife had these feelings for him and all this kind of stuff and went fucking crazy. He cut all the pictures of, cut all her face out, all the pictures, and pinned them onto the wall. He ended up murdering his wife. He drowned the cat, he drowned the kid, and then he killed himself, all in that house. He literally killed his whole family and himself in that house. And because, once again, he was so full of rage, and the motive behind killing everybody and himself was pure rage, anger, hatred. That's why there's such a bad curse on that house. So now Karen's out of the flashback, and we're back to the dark, scary house, and she sees Doug, but before she can try to grab him to get him out the house, there's that woman, and she grabs him instead. It leaves him paralyzed. There's really nothing he can do once she grabs him. But she ends up like disappearing off of him, and then goes to try to grab Karen. But Karen has a lighter. She notices that there's gas on the floor. She throws a lighter, lights the house on fire, and only she gets out safe. Karen goes to the hospital, I believe, to identify his body. And as she's about to move the sheet off of him to see and confirm, an arm falls out, but it looks like that woman's arm. And she like shakes herself, and it's his arm. But you want to know what's behind her? That woman. She can never shake the curse of that woman being on her. And that's how the movie ends. It is a lot of back and forth, but once it pieces all together, it's just like, dang, that happened. That all happened. Listen, this movie got a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. Personally, wrong. Wrong. To say that this movie is below average is wrong. I enjoyed this movie, and it reminds me a lot of, there might be another movie that I watched that's like this too, but it reminds me a lot about when I watched Batman Begins, because it has parts here that translate to this, and then you flash back here and it makes sense in the end for this. I like the back and forth, making it piece all together for a cohesive story. I like that. It really keeps you engaged and keeps you thinking more, rather than you just kind of watching the movie, not, if you don't pay attention, you can miss some stuff. And I like movies that can make me pay attention, because I get distracted. But if you could captivate my attention, I will look. So I personally think that 41% is wrong. I would say 60s, 70s. I wouldn't say that it's like the best movie I've ever seen, the best scary movie, but I think it was really good. So I think 60 to 70 range would be pretty fair for this movie. But what do you think? And that's it for my video today. Thank you all so much for tuning in this Thursday. If there's something you agree with, disagree with, you want to say how good I did, or you have any movie suggestions for stuff I should watch in the future, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on social media. Kemma's Never Seen It on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Kemma's Never Seen on Twitter. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, tell everybody you know about my channel. Tell them I'm doing costumes and how good I'm doing them. Maybe that'll entice them to see what I'm doing. And as always, want to express my gratitude and appreciation for you tuning in each week, even if you just got here. I don't know how you found me, but hey, I have more videos back there, so go watch them. But that's it for my video this Thursday, and I will see you guys back here next week. Bye.